The new entrance is going to force students in through one centrally located area. And when kids leave at the end of the night, they're going to be going out the same way.
The overall goal, again, is just to make school a place where people are comfortable coming.
There was a time when reading, writing, and arithmetic were the three most important goals for a school, but we can't reach those goals if we don't have a safe and secure environment. Certainly with atrocities that have happened to schools all over the nation, it's imperative that we make our schools as secure as possible. So we had a lot of security plans in place, lots of different protocols, but this summer we really made an initiative to change a few things to make our buildings as secure as possible for kids.
Once the new entrance opens up, all parents and all students that check in after 7:30 come through the main entrance.
In the front office, I would say, is a huge thing, because before people could just walk into the school, and a lot of people don't go to check in the office because it's not something they think about, but forcing them to walk through the office, I think, provides a lot more security to the students here.
We did some additional upgrades with our security company Sonitrol, and so we've put extra fobs in at most of our buildings, fob readers, so everybody that needs access has access and can fob in while those doors remain secure when not in use.
We have 3 security guards at the high school and 1 at the middle school. But probably more important than that is we brought on Jim Duplanty. Jim is a retired police officer from Burton, and we brought Jim on as our chief of security.
I start off here in the first thing in the morning at the high school, then I branch out to my other schools. I can usually hit at least 2 schools a day. But after we started here, Mr. Walworth and I and Mr. Goddard had talked about having guards.
I had an opportunity to sit down with a group of high school students about a month or 2 into the school year. We asked them, how do you feel about having the LaGuardia officers around and have Mr. Duplanty in the hallways? Every one of those kids said, I feel safe, I like it.
I think the students like them. They're definitely quick to start a conversation. Even if you're just walking by, they're gonna ask you how your day is, how are you doing. I think they have the interest to make a relationship with the students, even if it's just a quick hello, or if they're asking, you know, why are you leaving, where are you going, are you okay?
They're working closely with us with that check-in process, the visitor passes, and watching our cameras a little more closely as to who's coming and going. And just talking to kids and parents and staff, it is running very, very smoothly at this point.
You generally hear that people are worried that there will be this police presence. People are going to be afraid to walk into the school because of the presence of security, but I've really found that's not the case. If anything, I feel more comfortable.
Another huge initiative that we put into place is we moved to ALICE training.
ALICE is a new approach to school shooter, response to a school shooter, a little more of a proactive approach.
We went through and trained all of our staff, not just our teachers. We trained our bus drivers, we trained our cooks, we trained everybody so that everybody knows the protocols.
So we probably had 15 to 20 teachers per classroom, and at some point in time, they would hear something maybe through the PA or someone in the hallway yelling lockdown. Then they would have to go in and figure out a way to secure this classroom. They had nothing to work with. Then we gave them something to work with.
In the case of an emergency, they're to grab this red binder, and depending on what I say over the PA system, they open it up and they just follow the procedures that are in place right here.
He's been doing a really great thing with some buckets that he's trying to get for some classrooms with like emergency materials, stuff they can have by the door to be ready to go.
Each classroom is going to have what we call a go bucket. It could keep snacks, water. There's toilet paper in there. There's tools in it. Most of them, if they have a big window in their classroom, there's a hammer in case they were ever needed to get out of that classroom. It's a last resort. You may have to counter. You may have to throw something at the person, or everybody in the room take some measures to protect yourself.
I hope Kearsley parents feel that they're sending their children to a very safe place. We've just stepped up the game a little bit more.
We've tried to take the necessary steps to make sure that Kearsley's a safe place and evolve and adapt a little bit as things have changed.
Kids should never have to think about safety and security when they walk into their algebra class. They should be thinking about algebra. And that's our ultimate goal, is to keep our schools as safe as possible so that it never even has to enter the minds of our kids. I want this to be a learning environment. We create the security to make it a learning environment for all kids.